Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tonight we're reading from Bhagavad-Gita, as it is, chapter 11, text number 55, the universal form. Mat prama krimat paramo Mad Bhakta Sangha Varjita Nirvara Sarva Bhuteshu Yasamam Iti Pandava Mad Krama Krimat Parmamo Mad Bhakta Sangha Vardita Nirvaira Sarva Bhuteshu Jasaman Iti Pandava. I made a mistake. We're supposed to read 54. We did 54 yesterday, and I've been asked to do 54 again today, which has a 4-page purport, but I'll just read the Sanskrit translation purport. Vakya tu anaya shakya aham eva vido arjuna katvam drishtum cha tadvena parvestum cha parantapa. Translation. My dear Arjuna, only by undevoted devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can one enter the mystery of my understanding. Is able to clear? Everybody able to hear? Are you able to hear? Senior citizens, can you hear? Usually they need hearing aid. So we'll go through this purport slowly and comment on the different points in the purport. Bhakti Narayan Maharaj, he gave a nice class yesterday, and he said he met two gentlemen. One said Krishna is only an imaginary person. He's not a real person. And the other person said that Krishna is this great personality. He's not this personality. He's not the supreme personality of Godhead. Of course, Maharaj could easily defeat those two arguments. But that's the way a lot of people think that way. But this verse substantiates, gives a different conclusion. Krishna can be understood, this is the purport, Krishna can be understood only by the process of undivided devotional service. He explicitly explained this in this verse so that unauthorized commentators who try to understand Bhagavad-Gita by the speculative process will know they're simply wasting their time. No one can understand Krishna or how he came from appearance in a four-armed form and at once changed himself into a two-eyed form. These things are very difficult to understand by studying the Vedas or philosophical speculation. Therefore, it's clearly stated here, no one can see him or enter into understanding these matters. Those who are very experienced students, Vedic literature, can learn about him from Vedic literatures in so many ways. So, those who try to understand Bhagavad-Gita by speculative processes will know they are simply wasting their time. And Prabhupada said that while they're sticking their nose, people will comment on Bhagavad-Gita in the wrong way, why they're sticking their nose in other people's business. If someone is not a devotee and doesn't perform any devotional service, then he can't understand Krishna in any way, shape, or form. So if you go in a bookstore anywhere in the world, you'll see so many different translations of the Bhagavad Gita. But none of them are the same as Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is. Of course, there may be a few from the Gaudiya Math, also maybe a few other bona fide editions. But for the most part, none of them can enter into the spirit of Bhagavad Gita because they're written by persons who are imperfect. The conditioned soul has 4 defects. We make mistakes, to be an illusion, to what are those 4 things? Make mistakes, imperfect senses, to be an illusion, what? Cheating. So because the imperfect senses, because the cheating propensity, illusion, all these things, no one can give a proper meaning to Bhagavad Gita. But Baladev Vijibhushan, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and other great acharyas, they all gave the proper meaning of Bhagavad Gita in their commentaries. Now, when Krishna and Balaram were 11 years old, they went to Mathura and took second initiation from Gargacharya, the priest of the Yadu dynasty. And then they went to the school of Sandapani Muni. Sandapani Muni was not a Vaishnava, he was a Shivite. Because no Vaishnava who understood Krishna and Balaram who dared to instruct Krishna and Balaram. But also Sandapani Muni, he wasn't a Mayavadi, he wasn't an offender. But he didn't wear a Vaishnava tilak, he wore a 3-line tilak. So, this is confirmed in Gopal Champu. So, Sandapani Muni instructed Krishna and Balaram for 64 days on 64 arts, and he also instructed them on all the Vedic literatures and the supplementary Vedic literatures. So the duty of the disciple on the time of initiation or when we receive instruction from a spiritual master is to give Guru Dakshin, to offer some gift to the Guru. So Sandapani Muni, so Krishna Balaram asked Sandapani Muni what we should give for Dakshin. So Sandapani Muni consulted with his wife, and she said, well, we know Krishna Balaram, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead, can do anything, so ask him to bring back our dead son. So they asked Krishna Balaram if they could bring back their dead son. So Krishna Balaram immediately went to the ocean and sat down, and the ocean came, personified, ocean personified came, offered obeisances, and said, what do you want? They said, well, we heard that you have taken the son of our spiritual master. But the ocean replied, or the deity of the ocean said, I didn't take your son, but the demon in the form of a conch shell, he took your son. So Krishna immediately went into the ocean, the bottom of the ocean, found that demon, killed him, and took the conch shell that was his body, but he didn't find the son. So then they went to the Yamaraj, the planet Yamaraj, and when they met Yamaraj, they asked Yamaraj if he had the son of the spiritual master. And he did, so he brought back the son of the spiritual master. So when Krishna Balaram came back to their spiritual master, he was pleased with them for bringing back their dead son. Doesn't give the name of their son. But, so the spiritual master benedicted Krishna that said that whatever you speak will remain fresh as the instructions of the Vedas in all places and all times, not only on this planet and other planets, but also in other universes. So this is the nature of Bhagavad-Gita. Even though it was spoken 5,000 years ago, it's still ever fresh. And we're all distributing Bhagavad-Gita to so many people, giving the opportunity to try to understand Bhagavad-Gita and make them devotees. Recently I went to the Radha Damodar temple and I asked 5 men, so elderly men, if they read Bhagavad-Gita. And they all said yes. Then I asked them if they understood the Bhagavad-Gita, and they all said no. So because they were not devotees, they didn't have Vaishnava tilak, weren't practicing devotional service, and they didn't have a spiritual master, so they couldn't understand the Bhagavad-Gita. So even devotees in this movement who have a spiritual master and performing devotional service don't understand the entirety, the Bhagavad-Gita entirely. But we understand from this verse that it's only by devotional service, bhakti-yoga vijananti, that Krishna can be understood. Krishna reserves the right to be understood, and by his yogamaya potency, he comes in this world, and but he's not recognized by everyone. So this is the beginning here that the Krishna appeared first. He appeared from the womb of Devaki in his four-arm form, and then they requested him to take a two-arm form, and then he was transferred from Mathura by Vasudeva to Vrindavan. When he placed the Mother Yasoda had given birth to a child, but due to the labor of childbirth, she didn't know whether it was a boy or girl. So Vasudeva replaced the baby Krishna with the girl and brought the girl, who was Yogamaya, back to Mathura. And Krishna, Nandanana Krishna, never leaves Vrindavan. He took birth also at the same time as Yogamaya. He emerged into the Vasudeva Krishna. And therefore Yasoda seemingly gave birth to Krishna, Nandanana Krishna, or the two-armed form of Krishna. So Krishna has 4 arms and he has 2 arms. And here it says that I will continue with the purport. It says here, it's clearly stated, these things are difficult to understand by study of the Vedas or by philosophical speculation. Therefore, it is clearly stated that no one can see him or enter into understanding him. Those who are, however, experienced students of Vedic literature can learn about him from Vedic literature in so many ways. So what does it mean to be an experienced student? That means someone who's been following the process of Krishna consciousness for sometime for some length of time. There are so many rules and regulations. One must, and all, if one or at all wants to understand Krishna, one must follow these rules and regulations. One must perform penance in accordance to these principles. For example, to undergo serious penance, one must observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day on which Krishna appeared, on 2 days of Ekadasi, 11th day after the new moon, 11th day after the full moon. So, in Nectar of Devotion by Rupa Goswami, now he says that not only are there the 4 regulated principles, no meeting, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex, but there's 64 items, which I'll read, which is being described here, that we have to undergo serious penance and must observe these things. So these 64 items are, most of them we're performing daily. So 1, accept the lotus feet of the spiritual master, become initiated by the spiritual master, obey the orders of the spiritual master, follow in the footsteps of great acharyas, inquire from the spiritual master how to advance in devotional service, being prepared to give up everything for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, residing in a sacred place of pilgrimage like Vrindavan or Dwarka, accepting only that which is necessary, or dealing with the material world only as far as necessary, observing fasting on Ekadasi, and worshipping sacred trees like the banyan tree. So that's the first 10 items. Then there's another 10 items. 1 should rigidly give up the company of non-devotees. 1 should not instruct a person who is not desirous of accepting devotional service. 1 should not be very enthusiastic about constructing costly temples or monasteries. 1 should not try to read too many books, nor should one develop the idea of earning his livelihood by lecturing on or professionally reciting Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad-Gita. That means one should not read too many books and that don't concern devotional service. 1 should not be neglectful in ordinary dealings. 1 should not be under the spell of a loose lamentation and loss or jubilation in gain. 1 should not disrespect the demigods. 1 should not give unnecessary trouble to any living entity. 1 should carefully avoid the various offenses in chanting the holy name or in worshiping the deity in the temple. 1 should be very intolerant toward the blasphemy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or his devotees. So that's the second 10. Now there's the rest of the items. 1 should decorate the body with tilak. In marking such tilaks, sometimes one may write Hare Krishna on the body. But that doesn't mean we should put tattoos on our body. That's not on our line. Mark the body with chandan or with sandalwood, or some other substance, but not permanently. 1 should accept flowers and garlands that have been offered to the deity and the spiritual master, and put them on one's body. That also includes tulsi. You can wear a tulsi garland if it's offered. Lord Chaitanya gave tulsi garland to Raghunath Bhatta Goswami and Jagannath Prasadam, and he used to wear that around his neck. 1 should learn to dance before the deity. 1 should learn how to bow immediately upon seeing the deity or the spiritual master. So we should bow down as soon as we see our spiritual master, but not in the temple room, not in front of the deities. As soon as one visits the temple of Krishna, one must stand up. When the deity is bore for a stroll in the street, the devotee should immediately follow the procession. A devotee must visit a Vishnu temple at least once or twice every day, morning and evening. In Vrindavan, this system is followed strictly. It says there are 5,000 temples. At least we know there are at least 7 temples, most important temples, Goswami temples. And Prabhupada states that in Kanpur, the one family had a temple, and the mother of the temple imposed a restriction. He said if anybody in the family didn't go in the temple and offer obeisances to the deity at least once a day, they had to pay a fine, 10 rupees or something. That was a lot of money in those days. One must circumambulate the temple at least 3 times. Sometimes the way you circumambulate more. The Goswami used to circumambulate, go around hill every single day. One should also circumambulate the whole area, Vrindavan area. By doing this, we get freed from offenses to the Holy Dham. Even though they paved all the roads and made it more difficult to circumambulate, you should try to do it without shoes, so you get the dust. But if it's too painful, then you can wear shoes. What can you do? It used to be all sand, it used to be easy. And now they decided to make roads all around the Pilgrim make it difficult. One must worship the deity in the temple according to the regulated principles. One must render personal service to the deity. One must sing. One must perform kirtan. One must chant. One must offer prayers. One must recite notable prayers. One must taste Mahaprasadam. One must drink Charanamrit. One must smell the flower incense offered to the deity. One must touch the lotus feet of the deity. Of course, that can only be done by second initiated Brahmins and who can go in the altar. But we can do it mentally if you're not second initiated, or you can't go on the altar. One must see the deity with great devotion. One must offer artik at different times. That's standard. If the deity is installed, then it should get at least 6 artiks every day. One must hear about the Lord from his past and his pastimes from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita, and similar other books, especially Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Gopal Champu, Gopal. So many books are there. But Prabhupada says we should, on Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Krishnadas Karad recommends that we read Brihad Bhagavatamrita. One should offer everything to the Lord. One should offer a favorable article, such as food or garment. One should take all kinds of risks and perform all endeavors for Krishna's benefit. In every condition, one must be a surrendered soul. One should put water on the Tulsi tree. One should regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam and similar lectures. One should live in a sacred place, like Mathura, Vrindavan, or Dwarka, or any temple in the world. One should offer service to Vaishnavas. One should arrange one's devotional according to one's means. In the month of Kartik, one should make arrangements for special service. On Kartik, we offer the lamp every day. During Janmashtami, one should observe a special service. One should do whatever is done with great care and devotion for the deity. One should relish the pleasure of Bhagavatam reading amongst devotees and not among outsiders. Said milk touched by the lips of a serpent becomes poisonous. So if you hear Bhagavatam from a non-devotee outsider, it's like milk touched by the lips of a serpent. So that should be avoided in all cases. These professional Bhagavatam reciters, we should not hear from professional Bhagavatam reciters because they're committing offense by reciting Bhagavatam for money. So a person should not recite Bhagavatam for money, or a person should not recite Bhagavatam and expect to get money. That's offense to the Bhagavatam, and they won't get the pure message of the Bhagavatam by hearing from them. It won't be the change in heart. Change in heart won't take place. So one should associate with devotees who are considered more advanced. One should chant the holy name of the Lord, and one should live in the jurisdiction of Mathura. Of these 64 items, four most important ones are worshiping the deity, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, associating among the devotees, chanting Hare Krishna, and living in Mathura are the most important. So this makes 64 items. We can examine them and see that we're doing them on a daily basis. Not so hard to do these things. So now we'll continue with this purport. It talks about undergoing serious penance. One may observe fasting on Janmashtami, the day in which Krishna appeared, and 2 days of Ekadasi. As far as charity is concerned, it is plain that charity should be given to devotees of Krishna who are engaged in devotional service to spread the Krishna philosophy or Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So this is called Gata Sukriti. They always go out and collect donations from people that get some spiritual benefit, knowingly or unknowingly. Krishna consciousness is a benediction to humanity. Lord Chaitanya was appreciated by Rupa Goswami as the most munificent man of charity because love of Krishna, which is very difficult to achieve, was distributed freely to him. So if one gives some amount of money to persons involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. So Rupa Goswami said, Namo Mahavandaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya No Gurte Senaha. That Lord Chaitanya is the most munificent incarnation because he came to give what no other incarnation has ever given, and that is Prem Bhakti, or pure, loving, devotional service. Other incarnations come and give Aishwarya Bhav and give liberation, but they do not give pure devotional service. So we are fortunate that we are in this time when Lord Chaitanya appeared. He comes when Krishna appears every millennium, after 4 yuga cycles, Krishna appears, one kalpa, a millennium, and then Lord Chaitanya also appears at that time. So it's a very long period of time when Lord Chaitanya comes to give Prema Bhakti. Somehow or other we have some Sukriti, so we're able to be here at that time and take advantage of the Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. So if one gives some amount of money to persons involved in distributing Krishna consciousness, that charity given to spread Krishna consciousness is the greatest charity in the world. If one worships as prescribed in the temple, as prescribed in the temple, in parentheses, in the temples in India, there are some statues. You call statues or deities, usually of Vishnu or Krishna. There is a chance for progress by offering worship and respect to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For the beginning of devotional service to the Lord, temple worship is essential, and this is confirmed in the Vedic literatures Svetasvatara Upanishad. Deshadeve Parabhaktir, Deshadeve Tata Guru, Tashaita Katata Hiarta, Prakrachante Mahatmanaha. One who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord is directed by the spiritual master, in whom he has similar unflinching faith, can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. In other words, if you have unflinching faith in the Guru and Krishna, then everything will be revealed to you. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation, For one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word "to" is specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used, can be recommended, or can be successful in understanding Krishna. So one may stand in water, cold water up to his neck, or in the winter time, or one may surround himself by fire and sit in the hot sun in the summertime, or one may bury his head in the sand and stand with his feet up in the air, or one may not talk to Manavrat or Monavrat, not speak, or one man that didn't speak for 20 years and didn't sit down for 20 years. But these things don't give one pure devotional service and don't make it possible to understand Krishna. They simply make their heart hard. Performing penance and austerities that are not recommended in the Shastra harden the heart instead of softening the heart. And for Krishna to sit in our heart, we have to make our heart soft so we can learn to love Krishna. But by performing these other kinds of penance and austerities, although they may be very difficult and people maybe get great name and fame for doing them, they don't give one love for Krishna. So it's not the process in this age. In Satya Yuga, people could perform meditation. In Treta Yuga, people will perform sacrifice. In Dwapara Yuga, people will perform elaborate temple worship. But in Kali Yuga, Harinam, 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 Eva Kibalo, Kaluna Stevana, 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 Gatiranta. The chanting, there's no other way but chanting the holy name of the Lord. So, but the chanting the holy name of the Lord has been going on since time immemorial. When Narada Muni was Upabara, he was a demigod, he had a very beautiful form, and he was always surrounded by beautiful celestial women. So when the Sankirtan party came by, chanting the holy name, Narada Muni was chanting songs in praise of the demigods. So because of his offense and not taking part in the Sankirtan movement, he was cursed to take birth on this planet as the son of a maidservant and devoid of all beauty. So we hear about this in the first chapter, the canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, how Narada Muni became Narada Muni by taking birth as the son of a maidservant. So Prabhupada wrote in the purport that Sankirtan, the chanting of the holy name, goes on in every single age, even though it may not be the Yuga Dharma. And people have this misconception that the Hare Krishna movement is something new or some kind of sect or cult that's been manufactured in the last few years, like so many other unbona fide religious movements and things that have creeped up in the name of religion, things that have been manufactured. Like the Hare Krishna movement is a bona fide movement that's been going on since time immemorial, since the beginning of creation. It's not something new, but it's something very old. But it's something new to the Western world and to the unknown people who don't know anything about Krishna consciousness. So the personal form of Krishna is the two-handed form, and the four-handed are described as two durlabha, very difficult to see. They are completely different from the temporary universal form shown to Arjuna. The four-handed form of Narayan and the two-handed form of Krishna are eternal and transcendental, where the universal form exhibited to Arjuna is temporary. The words tva anyena drishta purvam text 47 of this chapter states that before Arjuna, no one had ever seen that universal form. So that has already been discussed many times, that this universal form shown to Arjuna was a different universal form that was shown to other people. Also, they suggest that among the devotees, there is no necessity of showing it. That form was exhibited by Krishna at the request of Arjuna, so in the future, when one represents himself as an incarnation of God, people could ask to see his universal form. So there are many people who claim they're incarnations of God. So then we can ask them to show their universal form. But they say, well, I can do that, but I don't want to, or they make some excuses. But no, we understand that if them is a universal form, is a incarnation of God, then he can show this universal form. Instead, they show some magic. They produce gold in their hand, or walk on water, or they do some magic tricks, and they claim to be God. And when Bhakti-yoga Thakur's time, there was one bhikshu who was performing some magic and enamoring people, calling himself Bhagavan. Bhakti-yoga Thakur arrested that man, put him in jail, brought him to court, and they knew that his power, he had a lot of power, but the power was in his hair. He had the matted locks of hair. So when they brought him to court, they cut off his hair, and then the Mahavishnu was finished, or God was finished, and he ended up dying in jail. So this is a warning that we should not take someone who says he's God, we should not accept such proposal. It's certainly anyone who's a devotee will not be bewildered by such things. Even Lord Chaitanya was in Vrindavan. Many people were coming to Lord Chaitanya and saying, we're seeing Krishna. And then Lord Chaitanya's servant said to Lord Chaitanya, I want to go and see Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya gave him a big slap. This was his servant, Bhattacharya. Said, you're supposed to be a learned man. You should know Krishna has not appeared here. And then some learned men came there, explained the whole situation. Actually, people were seeing fishermen on a boat with a light at night, and they thought the boat was the Kaliya serpent. They thought it was Krishna dancing on the Kaliya serpent. So they were saying, we're seeing God. We want everyone's, but they were. So in this age, people see an ordinary man as God, and God as an ordinary man. So actually, when they saw Lord Chaitanya, they were seeing God, but they thought this other man on the boat at night was God. So they were mistaken. So people have this misconception. They think that an ordinary man is God, and God is an ordinary man. And just like Narayan Maharaj said, he saw a man who said Krishna was just a great historical personality. And even Lord Ramachandra in the parliament in India, at one time they wanted to make a law that Lord Ramachandra never existed. There wasn't a real person. It was an imaginary person. But they didn't do that. So we know that Krishna comes. Krishna is tu Bhagavan Swayam. He comes and incarnates in every millennium, in every age, in different forms, in different pastimes. The word tu, na, used repeatedly in the previous verse, indicates that one should not be very proud of such credentials as an academic education in Vedic literature. One must take the devotional service of Krishna. Only then can one attempt to write commentaries on Bhagavad-Gita. So even the scholars, and maybe some Vedanta scholars, they think they know so much about the Vedas, but they're not devotees of Krishna. Krishna changes from the universal form to the four-armed form of Narayan, then his own natural form of two hands. This indicates that the four-armed form and other forms mentioned in Vedic literatures are all incarnations of the original two-armed form. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Yatecham sa kalapum sa Krishna's tu Bhagavan Swayam Indriyai Yakulam Lakam Midyanti Yuge Yuge. For all the mentioned incarnations of the planetary portions of the Lord, but Lord Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheist. The Lord incarnates to protect theists. Krishna changes from the universal form to the four-armed form, then to his natural form of two hands. This indicates that the four-armed form and other form mentioned in Vedic literatures are emanations from the original two-armed form. He is the origin of all emanations. Krishna is distinct from these forms. What to speak of the impersonal conception, as far as the four-handed form of Krishna are concerned, it is clearly stated that even the most identical four-handed form of Krishna is known as Mahavishnu, who is lying on the causal ocean, and from whom breathing so many innumerable universes are passing out and entering, is also an expansion of the Supreme Lord. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, the Mahavishnu, to whom all the innumerable universes enter, and from whom they come forth again, simply by his breathing process, is a planetary expansion of Krishna. Therefore, I worship Govinda, the cause of all causes. Therefore, one should conclusively worship the personal form of Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has eternal, blissful, and knowledge. He is the source of all forms. He is the source of all forms of incarnations, and he is the original personality that is confirmed in the Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishna Yai Kilitai Ta Krishna Namo Vedanta Veja Gaurava Buddhi Sakshine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Krishna, who has a transcendental form of bliss, eternal knowledge. I offer my respect to him because understanding him means understanding the Vedas, and he is therefore the supreme spiritual master. So Krishna says, Sarvashacham Ridishani Visto Matas Matura Janapavancha Vedantkrit Vedavid Evichaham, that he is the knower of the Vedas, he is the compiler of the Vedas and the knower of the Vedas. So that's what is being said here. Then it says, Krishna is Vai Paramam Davantam. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gopal Tapani Upanishad. Eko Vai Sabhaga Krishna Vijaya. That one Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead, he is worshipable. Eko Pi Sam San Buddhayo Vidhanti. Krishna is one, but he's manifested in unlimited forms and expands in incarnations. Gopal Tapani, Upanishad 1.21. Brahma Samhita says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Nanda Adi Govinda Sarakar Karnam. Supreme Personality God is Krishna, who has a body, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. He has no beginning, for he is the beginning of everything, and he is the cause of all causes. Elsewhere it is said, Jantra Vaitran Krishna Yam Param Brahma Narakriti. The Supreme Absolute Truth is a person. His name is Krishna, and he sometimes descends on this earth. Similarly, in Srimad Bhagavatam, we find the description of all different kinds of incarnations, Supreme Personality Godhead, and this list of names of Krishna also appears. But then it's said that Krishna is not an incarnation of God, but the original personality of Godhead himself. Ete chamsa koro pumsa Krishna's tu Bhagavan Sayam. You can find that in the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. List of different incarnations, but Krishna and Balaram are the original forms of Godhead. They're not incarnations, but they're the original of all, origin of all incarnations. And Krishna says, Jama karma tsame devyam evam yo veti tattvaha shakva deham punarjama natimam veti so Arjuna. The one who understands the appearance and activities of Krishna, upon leaving his body, he does not take birth again in this material world. So anyone who goes to the spiritual world is a permanent resident of the spiritual world. Similarly, in the Bhagavad-Gita, the Lord says, Mata parantara nanya. There is nothing superior to my form as the personality of Godhead Krishna. So Krishna says that everything is rests on me as pearls are strung on a thread. So when you see a string of pearls, you don't see the thread, you see the pearls. But the thread is there holding up the pearls. In this way, Krishna is everything's resting in Krishna, but we may not see Krishna's hand in everything. But we can hear about Krishna from Bhagavad-Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and understand by his energy everything is going on. He also says elsewhere in Bhagavad-Gita, Aham Adir Hi Devanam. That is 10.2. And 10.2 says, neither the host of demigods nor the great sages know my origin or opulence. For every respect, I am the source of demigods and sages. And similarly, in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, he also says elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, Ham Adir Hi Devanam. I'm the origin of all the demigods. And after understanding Bhagavad Gita from Krishna, Arjuna also confirmed this in the following words, Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Brahmam. That's in the 10th chapter. I now fully understand you, that the Supreme Personality of God, the Absolute Truth, and that you are the refuge of everything. Therefore, the universal form which Krishna showed to Arjuna is not the original form of God. The original is the Krishna's form, the universal form, with thousands of heads, The universal form, with thousands of heads and hands, is manifest just to draw the attention of those who have no love for God. It is not God's original form. The original form is not attractive for pure devotees who are in love with the Lord in different transcendental relationships. Supreme Personality of God exchanged transcendental love in his original form of Krishna. Exchanges transcendental love in his original form as Krishna. Therefore, to Arjuna, there was no intimately related to Krishna in friendship. This form of the universe manifestation was not pleasing, rather was fearful. Arjuna, who was a constant companion of Krishna, must have had transcendental eyes. He was not an ordinary man. Therefore, he was not captivated by the universal form. This form may seem wonderful to persons who are involved in elevating themselves by fruitive activities, but to persons who are engaged in devotional service, the two-hand form of Krishna is the most dear. So sometimes people may say that the universal form was greater than Krishna because Arjuna needed celestial eyes to see it. But the universal form is not a lovable form. It's a fearful form, and Arjuna just requested that Krishna show that form to prove his supremacy as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he was not happy. He was happy when Krishna withdrew his universal form. And Krishna showed that universal form on the battlefield, etc. But only Krishna and Arjuna saw that form, and Sanjaya saw that form, and demigods saw that form. But the other people on the battlefield, etc. didn't see that form. But in any case, the two-armed form of Krishna is the source of all the other forms, and that's the most lovable form. The form of Radhashama Sundar, or other two-armed form we see in the deity, which are being worshipped all over the world. So this way, the goal of devotional service, Natavidu Sarakatim He Vishnu, is to go back home, back to Godhead, and to develop our loving devotional service to Krishna. There's no other, nothing else that will make the living entity happy and peaceful in this world, but pure devotional service to Krishna. Otherwise, people are misusing their human form of life, trying to be happy by sense gratification, which is like pouring ghee on a fire to put the fire out. It doesn't give anyone, you can't put the fire out by pouring ghee on the fire, but it increases more and more. So people are being misled by lust, greed, and anger, which are the three gates to hell, and they're misusing their valuable human form of life instead of performing devotional service and trying to make their life successful by becoming Krishna conscious. They're engaged in useless activities which will make them die and take birth again. So Dehinosmin Yatadehe Homaram Yovanam Jara Tatadeham Jara Praptir Dirat Tatanamuyate. And boil to youth to old age, one is changing his body, and then at the time of death, again you will get another body according to your karma or fruitive activities. One should not think that there is nothing after death, or that life is a combination of chemicals. Life comes from life, and the living entity, especially human being, it's a responsible form of life to see that our next life we at least attain a higher position, a higher consciousness, or if we're not perfected our Krishna consciousness, at least we take the Krishna consciousness again until we become pure, 100% pure. Anyabhilasita sunyam, Gyanakarmanabhitam, Anukulena Krishnano, Bhakti Uttamam. This is pure devotional service, free from Gyan, free from karma. And this is what we're all striving for, to attain, to develop our loving relationship with Krishna, and not to remain in this material world, which is a place of misery and suffering and repeated birth and death. Hare Krishna. So I have to do some service now. No time for questions. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavad-Gita ki jai.